All right, this is the honors pre-calculus. This is the chapter 2 exam. I'm just gonna have to go over it. Okay, so let's talk about the difference of quotient. Okay, so you know that difference of quotient, you have to use the f of x plus h to subtract f of x over h. Okay, so what we're gonna do is just have to sub in the x plus h into the x's. Okay, so that makes your f of x plus h. So what's going to happen is that after you're substituting it, you guys going to see 2 multiplied by x plus h squared plus 2 multiplied by x plus h plus 2. And you're going to have to subtract the f of x, which is right here. Okay, so you're going to have to subtract, let me use red for this, f of x. Okay, I don't have enough space, so I'm just going to put it like that. Everything needs to be divided by h. You're going to end up getting something like 4xh plus 2h squared plus 2h, and then you divide it by h. So you're going to get 4x plus 2h plus 2. Okay, that's going to be your difference of quotient. Look ahead to the next one. So if it's the average rate of change, you have to use the interval. Okay, so let me use a different color for this. So you're gonna have to plug in a negative 1/2 into f of x, subtracting f of negative 1, everything over negative 1/2, subtracting negative 1. Okay, so what's gonna happen is that you're gonna just plug it in. Okay, you can do the work. You're gonna end up getting negative 1/2 over positive 1/2. So the answer is going to be negative 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the next one. So this is a tricky one. Okay, a lot of people got this one wrong for some weird reason because maybe they didn't read the question correctly. Because when you guys are using the wireless data, it will automatically be rounded up to the whole number of usage. Okay, so when I say 17.8 is basically 18. Okay, 34.5 is 35. Okay, so make sure you guys know that. For the first one, you don't really have to do anything. All you need to know is that 18 is within the first function, so the first one is going to be $45. I'm pretty sure everybody got this one right. The problem is the second one, because it's 34.5. A lot of people just plug in 34.5 into the D, but actually you have to use 35 to plug into D, so that would be 100. Oh, sorry, 10 times 35. Okay, to subtract 155. Okay, that should be your answer. It's 195. If you guys put 190, I give it to you. So let's look at the radical functions. So radical function looks like this, like that. This is a radical x, square root of x. Okay, so when you see a negative outside of the square root, that's gonna cause a reflection over x-axis. If you see a negative inside a radical, that's going to cause a reflection over y-axis. Okay, in this case you got two negatives, so it's going to reflect. So you're going to reflect it once, you're going to reflect it twice. Okay, so you're going to end up in the third quadrant, and then you're going to have to make x plus 1 equals to 0, so x equals to negative 1, means that you have to go left by 1 unit. Okay, so you're going to have your answer right here. Letter A is your answer. This one's your answer. Okay, go left by 1 unit. So let's look at the next one. Okay, so we have a rational function, so 1 over x. So it's going to look like this. Okay, all right, so what's going to happen is that it's going to get moved up by 3 units, and then set x plus 2 equals to 0, so it's going to be negative 2, so it's going to be left 2 units. Okay, so with that being said, you're gonna have to choose letter B. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to find out what the yeah, this one is a little tricky, I'm sorry. So you'll be able to find out two of the three by using the equation. Okay, so you guys plug it in, you should be able to find out that for this one right here, it's a straight line, right? So this is where y equals to -4. So this is what you have to check. You have to check. This is where when x equals to -1 and it's going to be greater than -1. So you have to check this one right here. Everybody's got different answers. Okay. All right. So the next one you have to check is you have to find out what the equation of that. Okay. Just find any 2 points and then use the point slope formula. You should be able to find out that it's going to be this one right here. Okay. Now the third one is the tricky one. Because this is a point, so a lot of people might go like, oh, okay, so it's a point, so I'm just gonna go with letter D, or there's one more. Okay, yeah, just letter D. That's the tricky one because this is where x equals to -1. Okay, so you have to really look for the ones with x equals to -1, and then only one is going to be this one. Okay, actually there's one more over there, but that one is not satisfying. Okay, so it's going to be this one right here. All right, so this next one, you just have to do f of g of n over 2. Okay, so first thing you want to know is you want to subbing the n over 2 into g of n. Okay, so let's look at how that looks. So g of n over 2 is equal to 2 multiplied by n over 2 minus 2. So that's going to be n minus 2. Okay, so now you can rewrite that as f of n minus 2. Okay, all right, so next thing you want to do is substituting this n minus 2 into f of x. So we have f of n minus 2 equals to n minus 2 squared minus 3 multiplied by n minus 2. Okay, so you're just going to go ahead and FOIL it. That's going to be n squared minus 4n plus 4 minus 3n plus 6. Okay, all you need to do is combine all like terms, and then you should be getting your answers. Let's see. All right, so let's just go ahead and combine all like terms. So we got n squared. There's no like term to combine, but if you see the -4n and -3n, that'll be combined to -7n. +4, +6, that's going to be +10. Okay, so make sure you guys put -7 over there and +10. Okay, let's look at the next one. This one's a little tricky, so you have to do g of h of g of -n. Okay, so looks complicated, but if you just look at it, it's really not that crazy. Okay, so look at the g of -n first, which means that you have to plug in -n into the 4n, because that's the function g of n. Okay, all right, so this is what I'm going to do. So g of -n is going to equal to, let's just put that on the side. It's going to be 4 -n minus 4. So it's going to be -4n minus 4. So I can basically rewrite this as g of h of, put that -4n minus 4 in there. Okay. All right, so now the next one you have to work with is the h of n. So you're going to have to plug in this into the n. It's going to be a little crazy, I understand. Okay, so g of, now let's look at it. So you have to plug in negative 4n minus 4 into n squared, and then minus 4 negative 4n minus 4. Okay, so go ahead and just work on it. So that's going to give you positive 16n squared, add to 16n, add to another 16n, and then add 16. Okay, you're going to be subtracting a negative 4n, so that's going to be plus 4n, and then plus 4. Okay, close it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine all the like terms. Okay, so if you combine like terms, what? Okay, 16n squared doesn't have a like term to combine, but these are like terms, so you can just add them up. It should give you a plus 36n, and then plus 20. Okay, this is for the g. Okay, function g. Okay, now you're gonna have to plug this into the function g of n. Okay, so you know that's gonna be 4 multiplied by 16n squared plus 36n plus 20, and then don't forget about that subtracting 4. Okay, so it's a long question. You just have to be patient with doing it. So multiply the 4 to 16. That's going to give you 64n squared. Okay, and then you're going to have plus 144n. And then you're going to add 80 and subtracting 4. So that's about to be positive 76. Okay, so this is where you need to put. You put 64 here. You put plus 144. And you put plus 76. All right, so let's look at the next few questions. So what is the f of negative 3? So look at the f of negative 3. So this is basically saying x is equal to negative 3. What does y equal to? Okay, so you're going to go ahead and go. This is where x equals to negative 1. That's not very visible. Okay, so this is where x equals to negative 2, and this is where x equals to negative 3. So the function, well, the point is going to be where y equals to 3. So f of negative 3 equals to 3. Okay, so you can rewrite this as f of 3. Okay, now you're going to do the analysis one more time. So when x is equal to 3, what does y equal to? So you're going to shift to x equals to 1, x equals to 2, x equals to 3. Okay, so, sorry, I was just, all right, so this is where y equals to 0. Just giving you guys some time to think. Okay, so 0. All right, so let's look at the next one. So basically this question is asking you that when f of x is subtracting g of x, they're equal when x value equals to 1. Okay, so this is a little confusing one. I understand it, but let me explain to you. Hopefully that will be a little better. So f of x to subtract g of x. Okay, the value are going to be the same as when x equals to negative 1 and x equals to 1. Because if you look at it, just use a very simple way to explain it. Look at the difference. Are the same, right? If you want to put in numbers to explain it, you can just say that, look at this. When x equals to negative 1 or x equals to 1, y equals to positive 1. Okay, for the f of x. So this is when y equals to f of x equals to 1. And then if you see the g of x when x equals to -1 or x equals to 1, that's going to be -1. It's basically the difference is 2. See, 2 units. So it's the same when x equals to -1 and +1. Okay, so this last one for the interval 0, comma 3. So this is where this is the interval I'm talking about, 0, comma 3. Okay, so g of x is the lesser number. Okay, and then f of x is the greater number. So when the lesser number is subtracting a greater number, it has to be a negative. Okay, that's it.